Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, according to the rumor mill, has decided to cut ties with Ndamukong Suh. A lot of people didn't believe me when I said it a few months ago that the Dolphins were going to cut ties with him. Ndamukong Suh wasn't the splash player that they wanted and what they paid for to get him away from the Detroit Lions. If you remember in the bidding war, it came down to the Dolphins and the Lions for Ndamukong Suh. And, people felt that Tom Lawine and Mark Mayhew dropped the ball on Ndamukong Suh. We back. It's Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget, if you want to be part of the podcast gang, I'm going to leave a link to SoundCloud. Subscribe. We're going to get it rolling real soon. And if you want to be part of the draft talk, click my other channel link. Me and my friend John JG will be cooking some draft talk up right around the combine, which is a couple weeks away. We already breaking down film. We do podcasts as well, and we do live videos on my other channel on YouTube. So check that out. But I did say that I would want Ndamukong Suh back, but I don't think he's essential to us winning. I don't think he's a must-have for the Detroit Lions anymore. And he tells Philadelphia that he'd play there for free because, Jim Schwartz is over there and he feels that he can create that magic with Jim Schwartz once again. But when he's with Detroit, he has a lot of splash plays, especially in his first year. He had 10 sacks. I don't think he came close to that with Miami. He was playing next to Mario Williams at one point. He was playing next to Cameron Wake, who's a great pass rusher. And it just didn't work out in Miami, what they wanted. They thought they was going to get a Lawrence Taylor type of guy or J.J. Watt to make a better comparison on the inside, and that's not Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh, he eats up double teams. He can get upfield. Sometimes he gets undisciplined when the run blocking, and rushing and playing the run, in my opinion, excuse me. And he kind of takes chances. He's kind of like a Troy Polamalu type of defensive tackle. Let me make that analogy. What I mean by that is sometimes he take risks and he get burnt, from defensive tackle position. Sometimes he do. Sometimes he'll try to, do something and don't have gap control and then end up playing a 20-yard run. We see that in Detroit some. But sometimes that risk pays off. And with big plays, big sacks, and he created a fear in the NFC North. And when he left, I know Aaron Rodgers was happy. I know Teddy Bridgewater was happy. I know Aaron Rodgers was happy. But he kind of was the issue with Detroit and its physical play and its personal fouls that they did get. And when he left and Jim Caldwell came, the personal fouls instantly dropped off. They did. And, a lot of fans wouldn't mind having him back. But if he was like, I'd like to go back to Detroit. If he came outside, I'd like to go back to Detroit and be a part of that. Then, yeah, I would consider it. But I don't think he wants anything to do with Detroit. I really don't. He was trying to drive the price up on Detroit. But I think it was a good thing Detroit didn't bring him back. I think Detroit needed to get rid of Calvin Johnson. They needed to get rid of Ndamukong Suh, or get rid of Matthew Stafford. They need to get rid of two of those guys because the cap that those three guys were taking up together, at least two of them for real, it was eating the Lions alive and it was making us talent riddled. We couldn't get talent and spread it around. And with Sue and Calvin gone, now you can spread the talent around. Now you have a competent, GM that knows where to put the talent at. He's addressed the secondary already. Now he can rebuild the front seven. In my opinion, it's easier than building the secondary. I think he's going to do the right thing and build the front seven. He got a middle linebacker. That's something the Lions could not get. Stephen Tulloch was okay, but he's not going to be the middle linebacker that Jared Davis can be. They addressed that need right there. Outside linebackers, they can get those dime a dozen. The inside is a hard one. They got Ashawn Robinson to be the main haul up front. Finding two pass rushers, to start, it's not going to be an issue. They can bring back Ziggy Ansah, get a young pass rusher in the draft, make Zettel, Kerry Hyder, depth players, rotational players. Finding a defensive tackle, it's not going to be that hard. Rebuilding the front seven is not going to be an issue for the Detroit Lions. Historically, they've been able to coach up good defensive linemen. I don't worry about that. They got the middle linebacker. I'm not worried about that. If you plug in Ndamukong Suh, will they be better? Absolutely. But at what risk and what cost? If it comes down to him coming back to Detroit, he's going to draw the price up on Detroit. He ain't going to say, I'll come back to Detroit for, for free or at a discounted price. Absolutely not. So why should, as a city that has suffered through so much in Lions history, want a guy back that never wanted to be here? His sister said, I can't wait to get out of here. Basically saying they had conversations to get out of Detroit. But you know what's going to be sad about his story? Is that he will never mirror or come close to what he did in Detroit. He will never be what he was in Detroit. He will never be beloved like he was in Detroit. He will never get the sacks. He will never get the impact. He will never have a defense that was built around him like it was in Detroit. It showed in Miami, and it'll show if he goes to Philly. He won't be the guy in Philly. He'll be one of the guys. Fletcher Cox is the guy on the defensive line. He won't be the guy in Philly. Him and Fletcher Cox will be a nice two-piece, but he won't be the best defensive tackle like he was in Detroit. A lot of people recognize him for being the best defensive tackle up there. He's not going to be better than Aaron Donald, which the Lions passed for with Eric Ebron. They should have took Aaron Donald. Knowing the situation, they weren't going to bring Fairley back, which Nick Fairley may retire because of a heart issue. Prayers go out to Nick Fairley. Played in New Orleans last year, which they should have brought Aaron Donald on. He's become the number one defensive tackle. Obviously, Jerry McCoy, who was taken right behind Ndamukong Suh. He's in Tampa, and it's not going well. But absolutely not bring back Ndamukong Suh unless he comes out and says he wants to be here, which he doesn't. And that's fine. Because Ndamukong Suh is not essential to the Detroit Lions or any other team winning a Super Bowl. This dude doesn't make the splash plays of an Ed Reed or Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor. He doesn't make those splash plays. He's one of the guys that could be part of an integral part, but he's not the guy. And the Lions are going to build that defense with guys. And who ends up being the guy? It may be Jared Davis in the front seven. Obviously, Glover Quinn is that guy in the back half with Darius Slay. The Lions are building the right way. And we don't need another cap casualty in Ndamukong Suh. We don't. We don't need those issues. And I stand by that. Love Suh when he played here. But we don't need those cap casualties here. We need to spread the wealth around. And I'm pretty sure if we draft right, give good free agents, the front seven is going to take care of itself. That's easy. The Lions' hard part is going to be able to run the ball. See what's schematically wrong with running the ball. If they fix that, I'm pretty sure the front seven will fall in place this offseason. The Lions don't have that many gaping holes. And how weak the NFL was this year, the Patriots shouldn't even been in the Super Bowl. The Lions can turn this around and become a Super Bowl team real quick, in my opinion. But it's going to take some work. We gone.